with no more surprises, episode 45 is coming to
Are
an
you certain
end.
about taking?
For the instance, we had to lock in and get as much footage as possible. R&D, OP item, augments, many more. Investigations, missions, briefings. A lot of things are in this video. For the most part, Dakota City is a big city, especially being in DC Universe Online. They put a lot of work into this. Had a lot of moments that had situations, but it didn't really have the baddest volume of problems. But for instance, the glitching that was going on throughout the phases of this location. You can phase through things, you can just phase right through them. The blocks. We seen a lot of things that we shouldn't have not seen in most games. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out what do you guys see in most games. I see 100 Punch Man in this game, speed hacking.
Can't believe it. The clinic's supposed to be open.
Yo, this game has shown me so much crazy curves. But this is coming to an end. And episode
Time for the show. Thanks,
46,
you. Now you don't.
the next DLC that's happening on October the 5th, 5:30 p.m. 2023 is about to be the best newest thing that's about to be out in this game. So this is my take on Dakota City, the subway, the meta clinic, the terrarium, the elites, the normal, the events, the pluses. I was fond of the work. Dakota City had a lot of upbuilding situations. Still never have been built up yet because that building's still like it is. But for most part, man, Dakota City, I don't think it's gonna be the end of Dakota City. I don't think it's gonna be the end. I think there's gonna be something about it. This must be gonna be an extension, close by cities stepping together, what I mean, block by block, what I mean, Titanic shift, lock in. Um, it's just that close. It could be that close. Um, I'm looking forward to the new DLC, but I'm happy that this DLC was a really good one. I keep my eyes on 700 skill points, and by the end of the year, my plans are to just stay focused when it comes down to hitting those feats with new things implemented into the game. I'm really just happy that I was able to get closer to the number, that 700, because I think I started off by the beginning of the year 600 skill points, right? And right now, like, I'm pretty much like three-quarters of the way there, so I'm gonna just get some more and go to 700. 800 would be nice. I wouldn't front to you. It would have been marvelous. You know what I mean? Ec- Ecstatic. You know what I mean? It's just, jeez. Um, but you take your steps, how you see them. I don't play with a lot of people. I'm usually doing LFG. You know what I mean? Uh, Finding solid groups and solid people who came into the group and play my role. Sometimes I'm the most decent support role that means a lot to a certain situation, and then sometimes I'm not, and then sometimes I am the focus, and I'm just like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But now, I'm just gonna have to take it in that all these feats happen in a like 2 or 3 month span from the beginning. And I know people that was having trouble in Elite the first week it was coming out. I did it in 20 minutes and 44 seconds. So like there was a lot of feelings that I was happening. I hit a million damage on a move, a clip move into a supercharged move with atomic, and I was able to crit so much to a 1.2 million. And I was like, what the hell? That is crazy for DC. I know people have probably done more. I might have to look it up and see what people have been up to because some games go outrageous and they already been hitting in millions, and it just is like, oh my gosh, like how much life does that boss have if you just keep doing that? Like it just seems crazy, right? So what I mean, HP looks good, decent. you know we did a lot of changes throughout this 3 month span. We ended up swapping out Velzod, Razor, so much individuals out of the roster. Black Adam, Mara. We swapped so much people. And at the end of the day, now we got a full Justice League team. And there's going to be not just only 5 or 6 I was rocking now. Now I'm going 10. I'm giving myself extra work. I got 10 characters. Okay? So these 10 characters are going to be the pinnacle stones of what their names are. So I'm going to name them out. So it's going to be Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Captain Atom, Aquaman, Cyborg, Green Arrow. And there might be a couple ones that I'm missing, but for now, those are the names that we're playing with. Oh yeah, don't forget Green Lantern. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that's gonna be in store in the future for the next DLC. And I feel like as a channel and trying to figure out exactly where I want to go with the direction of my channel, it's obviously going to most likely be cosplay, making characters and obviously implementing them ways where they look and act the way they should be acting as a character when they're most likely have more to do on the menu spot more than being an NPC. So I got chances where I can actually make those things possible, costume styles, um, you know, the fitting of what the style feels like. Some days I might just make something outrageous and some crazy. Sometimes I rock the same style and keep it because it looks very solid in its style and it doesn't lose the attention what the name is of the character. Um, but that feed that we were doing with Kemo, just talking briefly about what the video is all about, is about Dakota City feats and closing this chapter and remembering it in the best way, shape, way, and form. All the grind time that I put in, as much as everybody else did. I seen guys who were on for pretty much midnights, like nights, and I to get these feeds, they were not easy, and to just group up and do these. Some teams are better than others. They got it knocked out in the first day. Um, Probably even last like probably 5-6 hours maybe. Just circling around doing bosses and doing things like that. But what I mean, just building time to give us that kind of safety net when it comes down to how much you actually have to play. You play a lot now. At the beginning, you you burn it out completely, and then you see how much feats you can go through. Then you kind of just moss it, and then you just kind of basically just look your way around or work on other things that you might have to work on in your game. Polish your game up. Um, just one of those things that takes steps. What I mean, it just doesn't happen with one coding. It just there's a lot of coding that comes into it. You know what I'm saying? So um, it's just solid, solid. Ah, but I'm gonna say it again. Like as a YouTuber, making content nowadays for myself because of things that's going on in my world, is a little bit more tougher. And I wanted to give you more of a real aspect about how I feel about what I'm doing for you guys. And what I'm saying is, realistically, I am happy that the devs and all those people put it something together so we can work on. It keeps us entertained. It keeps us motivated to keep playing. It keeps us not burnt out with the one DLC. It keeps us locked into what's going on, what's new, what's the storyline that they're trying to go for, what pitch is coming to the table, who's focusing on what section of the game, the way it looks, the theme, the style, the movements, and adding new animations and trying to put them in there, incorporating things, emojis, just trying to capture a lot of things. Styles are looking much more sharper over the years with the designers locked in. We're waiting for graphics to change in the future so we can see the hue of our character or the sharpness of our character in a way that when you look at the screen, you go, "Is this somewhat like? Am I watching a movie or am I playing a game? Which one?" And confusing the audience that is watching, parents, right? So, but the first step is to give it a better revamp. You know what I mean? So it's always to spice it up or spruce it up. It gets things going when it in that direction of the level of how much technology has grown. So again, this game has been really good. I don't use no hub sometimes to feel like I believe in my character already, and I just got to go through his animations. And I like watching the character go through the animations, and it gives me a feel. What do I know, and what do I need to remember when I'm doing these certain situation, and cancellation and crashing or whatever you want to say. I'm not doing any of it, so I'm balancing it out with my rotation. And you could see the skill in that situation when you're looking at a character because there is so much going on and all these attacks are going on, and you could tell when the screen starts getting red, even more red, that you're not doing it correctly. And you got to understand when you are doing these things correctly, you get some really good results, and that is the percentage of the green light you want to get the results of those situations, like that pinpoint marker. But the mark is, this game has so much that we are going to have to offer it too. I can't wait to tell you guys that this new time capsule that's out with Batman is gonna be something to grab and snatch for your own self. Stabilizers is necessarily needed, most definitely, and there is going to be a lot of allies and swapping allies and putting allies in
I'd pay
and
to see
putting
that
in
again.
allies and
Look at that.
figuring out
Facade
which
of
ones you
heavy
want to
demos
use. You know, what I
circling
mean,
the
there's so
train.
much things
Thanks
to the
to you.
game in the art, the architect of the game, the inside. You know what I mean? So you just got to really piece together what you want to get out of efficiency. You know what I mean? So. Um, I'm just looking forward and bright to the future as another player to the game on the live server, not on the test server, because the test server you get to see a full hand and maybe they might switch it up here and there, but the real server is the real deal. You know what I mean? It's just like this is the real deal. You know what I mean? Are you going down or are you staying up? You know what I mean? Are you actually getting rewarded or are you literally rage crashing and getting off your game? You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things. But what you guys know. It's probably troopers, you know what I mean? Like must be one of those things. You gotta know. E-bomb, another good boss fight that got a lot of people. Most people didn't know how to lunge on that move when he was supposed. You could lunge him right there too. You got to be careful, man. These certain moves, like on the elite level, if you do not cancel those situations or do the right animation for it, you are definitely gonna get one shotted, and you have only two life, unless you have the Lazarus pit, and then you can definitely pop something else and have an extra life on top of the extra life. But until then, you don't know until you know. Get add artifacts to 200. Get that artifact to 200. Lazarus pit. You know what I mean? So it's Rayshaw Ghoul stuff, man. You gotta eat the ghoul as ghouls. You know what I mean? You gotta know that stuff. Um, but for instance, you know what I mean? It's a course. It's a course. This game is gonna be definitely a course. When I mean course, you gotta take action. You know what I mean? So For this DLC, you gotta most definitely get on top of it. Stay on talking to those individuals at the top of the building, and they will brief you upon your mission. Talk to those individuals, get them every week, get those things done as much as possible. Get in Chemo, and the little ones. You know what I mean, like with the S plural. You know what I mean, but you just got to do what you got to do.
Enough with the lecture.
Dakota City, make sure you're getting balloons and all those other things going on and around the area. You know, you are saving people on the coastline of the water and getting those tanks to just burst in general. Don't collect them, just let them burst and then destroy a certain amount of those chemois. And those big shadows, keep doing a certain amount of those too. Like, you just got to do a couple of those, man. Just read them out in the episode. You will most definitely get to where you need to be. And reading is not bad. You know what I mean? If you have a phone, you know what I mean. Just look and find out what the word is. You know what I mean? So sometimes DC puts in words that are not even in the dictionary. So don't even get too puzzled about anything crazy, because if you really are into this, like, you know, skimming or reading and whatnot, you will see some of these words are not in the dictionary, and they don't really have a meaning. They're just given meaning through game talk. So games do that typically. So they just put in their own kind of twist on it. You know what I mean? Like, um, another big word that most people like to say, extravaganza. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of blessings, big, so lots of stuff. You know what I mean? So um, I just can't wait. I can't wait. This new DLC is gonna be something. Um, I had a great time in Elite with some players in this game, and honestly, really smart and bright individuals. They knew what to do at times of when the animation was popped, and we all kind of did the same thing. Like, if you're telling me you're smart, show me when you're doing on the screen is properly. You know what I mean? Like, if you could do that much, you're doing really good in a lot of places. So then I kind of reacted the same way. We all reacted, and we're like, you know what I mean, kind of on the same page when it comes down to understanding this, how to beat this game, more than just try to hit everything and thinking that the game is going to give us everything when things are deflected at us, um, and AoE damages just destroy groups. Yeah, you got to be nervous, a little bit nervous about how you come in with certain players in here, because if they just came from events and they came into normal, what's going to happen is there's going to be a lag time of them not understanding certain things. And the principle is the damage. Anytime when your health starts getting dropped at a high level and a pace of quickness, it means you are doing something wrong. You just got to stop and reflect and drink something, or put a supply drop, block for a moment, and hopefully you have enough life to recover after that situation to protect yourself, man. Because you're going to be praying the healer catches you or a troll throws up a shield for you. um there's a lot of things that you just gotta stay away from, like when it comes down to boss fights. Those purple areas, make sure you collect them. They have a, like a areas, like a very wide radius of a blast that damages everybody in the group. So if you collect those and stop them from happening, it's like you are securing a place and putting it back where it belongs, down, right? But if you let it just go, it's just gonna burst, and the damage is really high. It will take away 75% of your health, and hopefully you have your augments, because if you don't have your augments, it will take. It has a reducer, but still, you do not want to play that game, because still it's a bad defection that you're not doing things properly. Usually people say trolls and DPS can go for them. If a healer is around the area and she has, or he or she has the area covered properly, it's good. If a tank has a great shield and he puts up multiple shields and he could pick it up and it's right by him, it's good. Get the tank to move from the area, pull the ads, and get the area sweeping so you can actually go grab those purple nodes popping up just like anywhere, and control the area properly, and you will see a difference in that terrarium situation. All right, so following those steps, you know, mix matching, you know, I mean, symbols, messing with the same symbols, matching, you know what I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, for instance, this is the one that I was talking about when it was by the coastline of the Dakota City. And here's the balloons that I'm talking about. They're gonna be hovering on top of building tops. Knock those out. Get those feats. Feel very good about what you're doing when it comes down to actually doing it. It's actually the thing to do. You know what I mean? Just be happy for doing things you know what to do. You know what I mean? It's pretty empowering. Um, but yeah, again, exploring Dakota City is one of those things. What would you like to do it as? Would you like to fly, skim, acrobat, super speed? You know what I mean? Super speed is a little bit harder to move around building tops like this. Flight is amazing to stay around tops, and then you got skimming. Skimming is really decent. You can do the mid everything and move around buildings and swirl around them in circles. Like you can do that, and then acrobat is a little bit more trickier because then you're gonna have to scale every four corners and see everything going on, and it's gonna be like you're just wiping windows. You know what I mean? Just looking, right? You're watching out frames and all that stuff of what's looking good. Hopefully, you have like certain things like Batman ally to help you with investigations, and then maybe you have like maybe those 15 minutes. Um, Search engines that you can find everything in the location that you're playing in. So you know what I mean. It just pops up everything. So you just go there and collect it. You know what I mean. 15 minutes, it's not bad. R&D scanners or something like that. Um, but yeah, those things can help. Making sure you are doing the meta clinic. You're freeing some of E-Bomb's buddies, and definitely E-Bomb has a plan for them, and he's taking them back. And you get some feeds. You get some feeds. You keep doing it until you get the feed and it pops up. If it pops up once on it, you don't have to do it again. If someone else keeps on continuing opening the doors, it's not nothing bad. Nothing's gonna happen. It's you're freeing prisoners that are prisoners, and you're trying to help E-Bomb, and E-Bomb is trying to help Static, make him realize what's going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on right here. So yeah. And there's a feat that's pretty funny, man. 2 days from retirement. It's pretty LOLs. You know what I mean? When it comes down to just taking it in for a moment, just saying what, like, did you just say what I think you just say? You know, I'm like, this guy retiring. Everybody's wondering what kind of line of business is he working at? Like, you know what I mean? So just gotta be careful with Major Force, man. Sometimes he got a couple moves that can knock some people out, and look, he's a tank. So, and we're in the beginning stages in this. Like, you know, we just picked it up because the real number for the top CR is going to be 414. But thank you again for watching another DC Universal action with Chris Dash. I appreciate all of you guys. I have a GoFundMe page at the bottom. There's a lot of things taking place in my lifestyle that we need to get done. And realistically, I believe in every one of you that could do a difference. See you soon.